Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to give you a beginner's guide to Icarus. So for this I'm going to open a new world here. I'm going to start off on easy just so I have a little bit of extra time with creatures and things like that to just give us a bit of an overview, and I can talk through things as we go. Chances are you're going to start off with nothing if you're new to the game. So all I'm going to do here is just going to go ahead and press confirm loadout. That is then going to present us with where we want to drop. It will show you just here. You can see that this teal icon just here says that this is the conifer area and that this is recommended. I would concur with that. You could do over here if you wanted at the Riverlands, because this is also a good biome area with a lot of water. But for the sake of this, I'm going to show you the conifer area here. So we're just going to drop. I'm just going to go ahead and say yes. That was just an option to allow your friends to potentially join as well if you wanted. And then we will load into the game. When we load into the game, we're going to drop randomly on the map in our little pod. We'll see in a minute just as the game loads. It is a varying degree of variance in terms of where you drop. It is a random spawn effectively, but the map is always the same map. So if you're dropping on this map, you will have the exact same layout as me. So here we are, we're just dropping in now. If you're lucky with the RNG, you'll spawn quite close to water. But we'll see in a second just as I open up the map. So here we are. I've dropped down just here on the right side of grid L12. We can see that there are two water bodies quite close to us. And this is going to be our priority pretty quickly, is to get to water. Now when we load in, we immediately want to start gathering resources. So you can see here there's some stone on the ground. We've got a bit of wood lying about as well. That's good. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and craft an axe. We also can pick up some fiber here and some sticks. The aim of the game pretty quickly here, just as we start gathering resources, is to survive the first day. So what happens first if you don't keep on top of it is that you will effectively dehydrate or suffocate to death. So we will need to replace these resources quite quickly, and that is the aim of the game with how we're going to play this right now. So we're just picking up things off the ground right now. You can just see I picked up some oxite as well, which we'll get to in a minute. But here we are, I've just gathered up a whole bunch of different resources. Let's just grab that stone as well. And if we go ahead and press tab here and come over to the crafting tab, you can see that I have the option to do a stone pickaxe or a stone axe. We're going to start off here by doing a stone axe, so we've just crafted that here. There we go, it's now in my hotbar, I've equipped it, and then we can go ahead and chop some trees. These have already fallen down from the shuttle, so there's a little bit of bonus RNG for me there. But if not, all you need to do is just go and hit a tree, and that tree will just fall down after a couple of hits, and you can just go ahead and chop them like this. Just go ahead and press F to pick up all of the wood, and we're just going to keep chopping trees. You can see I've just leveled up. Leveling up is really good for getting some talents and unlocking new abilities, and we will go into those in a minute once I've collected this wood. I do recommend that in total you try to aim to gather around three trees worth, I would say, of wood. Ideally big trees. This is going to give you plenty to work with. We are going to be looking to create a shelter as well later, so they will be useful for that. I know this probably seems a little excessive straight out of the gate, but it does need to be done, so you might as well just do it straight away to get the skill points straight out the gate. You can see as I do this on the bottom left hand corner of my screen, you can see the O2 icon, food icon and water icon. These are going to deplete fairly quickly. We are going to need to get on top of them, and that is basically what we're working towards now. Water is going to be the easiest one to keep on top of for when we actually get to the stream. It's also worth mentioning that if you do come across any wild animals that you can actually fight, it's definitely worth doing. So I can just see here actually that we have a Tyrannus just here, so I am going to engage it and kill it. It will hurt me in the process, but I should be able to tank it. There we go. So I've just killed that. Now in order to skin it, all I'm going to do is go ahead and press tab here, come to the crafting tab again. And what we want to do is come over to the tech tree just here, which is next to the crafting tab. And you can see that on here I have the ability to learn stone knife. Given that we're already level 2 and we have 7 points available from doing the wood cutting, I can then go ahead and craft a stone knife. So I've just learnt the ability there. And then if I come over to crafting, you can see it's now available for me to craft. Go ahead and press Q. There we go. I can then equip it and then just hold down F in order to skin it. We want to do this because we're going to need the bones that these drop later on. and they will be quite crucial for us to get oxygen shortly, so we do need to keep an eye out for any animals. So there's another deer there, but the deer won't let me get close. So what I'm actually going to do is just back off a bit here. If I hold down crouch, I can actually crawl and go into stealth mode. If I face the deer, it will see me, but if I come around like this and come up behind it, it won't. So this is a very good way of stalking animals early on if you need to. Then all I'm going to do is just go ahead and attack it, and if you can stab it quickly, unfortunately for me, I didn't quite get away with it there. So I'm going to give chase. I did manage to hit it twice, but unfortunately you are going to need to hit it 3 times in order to actually kill it. So we're just going to keep chasing it here. There we go. It took 4 in the end, but there we go. And then I can go ahead and skin it again by just going ahead and holding down F on my keyboard. There we go. So we've just taken another carcass. Now if I go ahead and press tab here, I'll just show you this as well. On the talents tab just here, not the tech tree, but the talents tab, we do have the ability to use this, which is bone collector. You can get this pretty early on. You actually get a couple of points pretty much straight out of the gate. Bone collector allows us to get 15% yield from creature bones, and it is worth doing for this if you are finding this particularly difficult to collect bones. A wolf has just spawned over there as well, so I'm going to go ahead and equip my axe now and go ahead and attack that. There we go. And again, once again, I'm going to go ahead and skin it. You can see your HP on the bottom left as well, so you can see I've currently got 270 HP. So we can go ahead and loot that. Now the reason that we're doing all of this is because if we go back to our crafting tab here, sorry, the tech tree tab, what we're actually looking for is to unlock several of the things here. So one of the things that we need to go ahead and unlock is the campfire, and then the other one is the oxidizer just here. These are crucial. The oxidizer is going to bring up our oxygen. The campfire is going to allow us to cook food. Now we want to start thinking about getting to water. So I do quite like the area down here at L13. I base here quite often. You can go to other areas, but L13 has this nice little island that's quite cinematic. So I will make my way there for the sake of this tutorial. It's worth mentioning as well, just while we make our way there, that you can see that I have now lost the ability to use this knife as it has broken. All you need to do in order to repair things in this game is go ahead and press tab to bring up the options menu. It doesn't matter really what you're on, but you just want to right click on the item and then press repair. And you can see now that it has repaired itself. It's a very easy way to repair equipment in this game. I know some games require things like workbenches and repair benches, but all you need to repair items in this game is to simply go ahead and right click them, and then it will consume resources to do that, but it's fairly cheap and easy to do. You will find in the open world that there are things like this around, which is wild berries. You can go ahead and pick these by just holding down F on the keyboard, go ahead and open tab, and you can see them in your inventory, and you can consume these. But you will see that while you do get a nice little buff here, which increases our maximum stamina and gives us a 10% water consumption, it doesn't really even fill us up that much. The bar on my bottom left there only actually went about a third of the way up, and it's not a reliable food source long term. I'm just going to quickly see if we can sneak up on this pronghorn. There we go. So now we've made it down to the water, and in order to get water, all you need to do is just hover over it here and just press F on your keyboard, and you can see I've now drank water and my water has replenished. It's definitely the easiest of the 3 to deal with, and now we want to start thinking about going to work on our O2 levels. So in order to do that, I'm actually just going to really quickly swim across here, as I like to be on this little island, and I'll use this for the tutorial. But now we want to go ahead and press tab and then head over to the tech tree, and you can see I've already unlocked the campfire and oxidizer. And then in order to go ahead and craft them, we want to come over to the crafting tab just here, and you can see that they're currently grayed out because I don't have the stone for that, and I don't have the bones still for the oxidizer. So we are going to have to kill at least one more animal and get some stone. Now in order to get stone in quantity, we want to get ourselves a pickaxe, and I still need 2 more stone in order to craft that. So I can go ahead and just quickly pick up some stones off the ground. And then once we've gone ahead and got enough stone to craft a pickaxe, all we need to do is just go ahead and craft that, and you'll see that it now appears in our hotbar. We can go ahead and equip it, find some stone out in the open world, like this stone node just here, and go ahead and start hitting it, and this will start to give us good quantities of stone. Now one thing that you can do if you're struggling to get animals and you want to speed this up a little bit once you've got your tools crafted is go back over to the crafting tab, go to the tech tree page just here, and if you look along the bottom here you can actually see that there is a wooden bow. If you go ahead and press this and unlock it, you can then go ahead and also unlock stone arrows. Stone arrows obviously require stone, so you do need to have a pickaxe if you're going to do these at volume, but you can go ahead and craft yourself a wooden bow for a few sticks and fibre, and then go ahead and if you press max, for example, here, you can see that I can currently craft 23 arrows. I don't need this many, so I'll go down to minus 10's worth to just craft 13. If I go ahead and craft those now, you can see I'm quickly crafting them. But if I then go ahead and hold my bow, you can see that I can now draw that by just holding down the mouse key. And if I hold right click as well, that will allow me to alternate. And then we can go ahead and use this to shoot animals. So I'll go ahead now and cross back over the river to just go and see if we can find some animals over there. So just here there's a rabbit, and if I go ahead and shoot that, well, there we go. We've now got ourselves 10 bones in total, which is what we needed. There's our bone. If I go ahead and take that and now go over to the crafting tab, you can see that I have now unlocked the oxidizer because we now have enough resources. So I can go ahead and craft that. You can just see as well that we have had an alert that there is a weather event coming. This is the thing that you want to be aware of. Unfortunately, it has come rather quickly, which will be a problem for us. We can go ahead and deploy this now. And then once we've deployed it, we can then add oxidite, which I picked off the ground earlier. All you need to do is just go ahead and press F to add the oxidite. If you are struggling to find any, you can go ahead and mine it in the open world. You want to look for these blue rocks here, which are normally around rock faces. And if you go ahead and mine this, this will be the thing that gives you more oxidite nodes. So I can go ahead and add this now. Now, due to a fact that a storm is coming in quite quickly here, I am going to need to actually probably go back to the shuttle. So I'm going to press F to consume the oxygen now, and you will see that my oxygen levels have recovered. So while we are now waiting for the storm to pass, I'm going to quickly wait it out in the shuttle. If you do not have a shelter up, this is also something you're going to need to consider doing, as unfortunately you will not be able to survive the storm if you do not find shelter. If you are struggling to find your shelter, all you need to do is go ahead and press M, and you can actually see it on your map just here, highlighted as this little yellow icon. So now all I need to do is just keep running. You can see here that the storm exposure bar on my hub right now is currently increasing, and that is because I am not currently sheltering from the storm. Once I go inside the pod, you will see that this will begin to reduce. Now that we're inside the pod, it is coming down again, so we will be safe. We are just going to have to wait out the storm. You can see at the top right of my screen right now that we do have the weather HUD currently up, and the bar is currently ticking over, so the worst of the storm is about to hit shortly. When it storms like this, you are actually going to get trees fall down. It can be quite dangerous if you're out in it, so I do recommend that you stay inside just because of all of the negative weather effects and wait for the storm to pass. You can actually hear the trees falling now. While we're waiting for the storm to pass as well, I'll quickly open tab and just show you another thing that you need to think about is getting the fireplace up. So all you're going to need now is to gather some more stone. When it comes to base building, you want to come over to the tech tree, come over to the end of the tier 1 tab, which is just here, and you want to look for this wooden base building set just here. You can do it with thatch if you prefer, but I prefer to do it with wood myself. And you also want to go ahead and unlock the wood building advanced set as well, so that we can add a roof accordingly. You can actually see that our oxidizer took quite a bit of damage in that storm, but we will be able to have enough oxygen, so I've just recouped my oxygen now. And again, if I need some more water, all I need to do is just go ahead and drink from the river, and then we need to start thinking about food. Now, in order to get food, obviously we need to finish that fireplace, so I'm just going to go ahead and quickly gather some stone. There we go. And then come over to the crafting tab, go ahead and craft the fire. And now all we need to do for this is to go ahead and place this down as well. Go ahead and press F to open it up. You are going to add a fuel source, so I'm going to add some wood just here. Then I can go ahead and add some of the meat that we've collected, and then that will begin to start cooking that through, and I will get good meat in order to eat that will replenish us with quite a lot of food just here, and also recover some of our HP. While that meat's cooking, let's start looking to build. So I quite like building by the river, and in order to build a basic shack, all we're going to need to do is go ahead and get 4 wood floor plates just here. So I can go ahead and craft those. We're going to accompany those with 7 wood walls. So we can go ahead and queue those up. I don't actually have enough, I still need to get some more fibre. There are plenty of resources around the map, so don't worry if you need to just go ahead and collect some. There's plenty of fibre and things like that on the bushes. And we're going to use all of that wood that we just collected at the start as well. So some of that meat will now have cooked, so if I go ahead and press F, there we go, we've got the cooked stringy meat. And if I just go ahead and press consume on that, you can see that I've now replenished my food bar, and I've got some HP back as well. So now I'm going to go ahead and create those 7 walls. And then the next thing we want to do is go ahead and create some roofs. So we're going to go ahead and make 4 of those. You are going to need roofs. You can't just add more flooring. So you do make sure that you actually get these. And then the other thing that I'm going to want is wood wall angles as well. And I'm going to go ahead and queue up 4 of those. So that is going to give us a very basic shack to work from, but will give us protection in a storm. Now, in order to deploy these, I'm going to go ahead and just hold them down like this. And all I need to do is go ahead and deploy the walls as well. So there we go, leaving 1 for an entrance just here. Go ahead and deploy the roofs. Give us a very basic roof just here, and then we can go ahead and deploy the wood wall angles as well. In order to rotate them, what you want to do is go ahead and hold down your R key to bring up this option menu just here, and if you cycle over them you can see which one you're looking at. So I can go ahead and press this one just here, and that will give us that. And then again, to do it on the other side, all I need to do is go ahead and hold down on this as well, and you can see that I've now selected that. So there we go, holding down R once more. There we go. We've now built a shack just here that we will be able to occupy during a storm for shelter. Now, what you want to do is start to think about moving some of the stuff in. So if I go ahead now and press X on my keyboard, this is going to allow me to pick this up, and I can go ahead and deploy it in here. This will protect it from any further storm. Now, when it comes to the fire, one of the things you need to be aware of is that if you put the fire down inside this on the wooden floor, it will catch the whole shack on fire, which is not so great. I found that out the hard way. But what you can do is actually just put it down on the grass outside. Now, in order to bring the fire in, we're going to need to make a safe area for it to live. And in order to do that, we're going to want to put some soil here. So in order to do this, what we're going to do is go ahead over to the tech tree again, and you'll see on the tech tree at the bottom that there is the wooden shovel option. You want to go ahead and learn this, then go over to the crafting tab, select the wooden shovel, go ahead and craft it. And then once we've got the shovel collected, all we need to do is just go ahead and equip it, and then go ahead and start digging the soil. Once we do this, we're going to need to collect 30 in total, so your stamina will need to regenerate. But then once we've got 30, all we need to do is come back over to the tech tree now, come over to the very end, and you'll see that you have the dirt foundation option here. Go ahead and learn that, come over to the crafting tab once more, and go ahead and create a dirt foundation with the soil that you've just collected. And then we can go ahead and deploy this into this little area just here. So that will now give us a soil foundation just here. And then we can go ahead and finish this off now by putting another wall just there, and another wall just here. And go ahead and deploy these. Go ahead and put this down. Again, remembering to hold R to change its location. Then all we need to do in order to bring the fire in is just go ahead and press X to pick it up. Go ahead and loot anything that's currently inside, and then go ahead and place the fire down. So now we've got our shack set up, we've got a fire, we've got our oxygenator just here, and then the only thing that we need to do now is actually get a bed. So in order to do that, we want to come back to the tech tree just here, come across to the beginning, and you will see that we have the option to have a bedroll. Go ahead and learn that. Come over to the crafting tab, and if I go ahead and select this, you can see that we do need 20 fur and also 20 fiber, which I currently don't have. I do need to go and hunt one more animal before I can make a bed. If you're near the lake here, you will find an abundance of them. They do come down to the water to drink, which is another reason I like this area. There we go, fantastic. And then once we're back at our base, we can go ahead and craft this, and then we can go ahead and deploy this as well. So I'm just going to pop it down there. Now, one thing that you can do here as well is just go ahead and press F now. If you hold down F, you'll see I've just set this as my spawn point. But now we have effectively got our little shack up. So that about wraps it up, guys. We've now got enough equipment in our shack to keep us going. We've got somewhere to cook our food as we need it, which is great for bringing up our food levels. We've got plenty of fresh water by this lake just here, so that is not something you're going to need to worry about moving forward. And then we've got our oxygenator just here as well, so I can go ahead and get plenty of oxygen to keep myself going. And then all I need to do in order to pass the night is just go ahead and press F to enter my bed. And you can see I've now just turned it into morning, and I'm ready to begin the next day. And this will effectively allow you to start exploring the game in its full capacity without having to worry too much about your vitals. My final tip would be that if you do check out the talents tab just here, you will see that there are plenty of useful options that you can adapt to your own needs. I do recommend checking out the habitation tree here as well, as there's plenty of useful ones when it comes to the pickaxe, and you do have some good ones in the adventure tab as well, so do make sure you read through these. And when it comes to the tech tree, you are not going to need to learn everything here, but as you start leveling up towards level 10, I do recommend that you save some of the points instead of spending them on everything that is available. And then when you hit tier 2, you will be able to start learning plenty of things straight away. Obviously the crafting bench is pretty essential, and then the stone furnace and contact device are both quite useful tools if you're going to go down those trees. But that about wraps it up, guys. I really hope this tutorial helped. Please do drop a like and subscribe if it did. It really helps the channel, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching.